Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Banyasharala of the Lions Den Camp, here in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing the truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. Nakar Harab Banyasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today, I'm coming out a lesson. The title of this lesson is Watch Out for Psy-Ops, psychological operations, because as you know, this devil, he loves to pull 48 fake moves. He'll do things, he'll set something up to be able to implement other things on the back end of like laws and bills and stuff. So we got to watch out for psyops. We got to really be paying attention and really be circumspect, because this devil is right now, his devil is about to start pulling out all stops. You know, he's trying to get this pipe dream that he has fast tracked. You know, so we just got to be careful. You know, watch out for psychological operations. You know, it's a lot of stuff that is prophecy that is happening, but we also got to watch out because this devil is a liar, and we got to be circumspect. I'm going to read a little bit of this article right here. This guy here says he was trying to help political figureheads finish with all their living. So without further ado, I'm going to read some of this article. I ain't going to read all of it, you know, But without further ado, it says federal court documents released on Monday shed light on how investigators say a 57-year-old man carried out a political assassination that left a Minnesota lawmaker dead and another wounded. You know, it says his name is Vance Bolter, was arrested late Sunday following the largest manhunt in Minnesota state history. Authorities said federal prosecutors charged him with several counts of murder and stalking. But he only killed one, so they say, and only injured another one. But he's been charged with several counts of murder and stalking in the killings of Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark. Bolter also faces charges in the shooting of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette, who were seriously injured but are expected to recover. Investigators say Bolter extensively researched and planned the June 14th attack. He complied. So you got to be careful with these devils. Again, you got to be careful because right around that time, that was the No Kings protest, and it was a nationwide protest. That's this devil inserting and trying to find a way, order ab chaos, trying to bring order to chaos. He causes the chaos, then comes tries to bring the order. So that's why we gotta watch out for psyops, watch out for psychological operations, because this devil moves like that. But let's continue. It says he compiled a list of mostly Democratic state lawmakers. You see it, and their addresses, fitted his SUV with lights and fake license plates to resemble a police squad car. And he purchased a silicone mask and a cache of weapons. How is that possible? But you know how this devil works. But let's continue. And it says, according to a 20-page affidavit filed in a federal court, it says Bolter embarked on a planned campaign of stalking and violence designed to inflict fear, injure, and kill members of the Minnesota state legislature and their families. For what though? The affidavit said. It says it is not an exaggeration to say that his crimes are the stuff of nightmares. Ooh, said Joseph Thompson, the acting U.S. attorney for Minnesota. I said here's the timeline. I'm gonna just breeze through it, but again, just watch out for psyops. We got a lot of prophecy happening too, but watch out for this devil and his psychological operations. Because just notice this devil, he always does things when there's major things going on. You know, he uses events and or whatever to as a cover to sow discord and to do wickedness. This is pretty much, but let's continue. It says the shooting at the Hoffman home, the police. It's around 2 a.m. On the morning of Saturday, June 14th. Bolter drove to the Minnesota State Senators John Hoffman and Champlin, however you say that, about 20 miles northwest of Minneapolis. The video footage from the home shows Hoffman at the front door wearing a black tactical vest and a flesh-colored mask. He repeatedly knocked on the door and shouted, "The police open the door." Hoffman and his wife came to the door, and Bolter told them he was there in response to a shooting. After a short exchange, Hoffman got a better look at Bolter and realized he was wearing a mask. One or both of them said he wasn't okay. He real. Bolter responded and said, "This is a robbery according to the FBI." Hoffman tried to push Bolter back through the front door, but Bolter shot him repeatedly before turning his gun on Yvette Hoffman. Court documents say, but let's continue. It says approximately 2:06 a.m., the Hoffman's daughter called 911 and reported that her parents had been shot by a masked gunman. Bolter appears at the second lawmaker's home approximately 2:24. While Bolter, still wearing the tactical gear, arrived at the front door of the state legislature in Maple Grove, 10 miles from Champlin. So you mean to tell me this man went 10 miles in a few minutes? Okay. All right. It says he rang the doorbell multiple times. This is the police. Open the door. This is the police. Well, who was there to document these things? Who gave? Well, let's continue. Watch out for psyops. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. Watch out for psyops, psychological operations. The legislator who had not been named in court. There you go. Boom. So who was there to? Let's continue. This supposed to be him right here. It says cops tried to speak to Bolter outside the third official's home. Law enforcement in New Hope, Minnesota learned of the shooting at the Hoffman home and dispatched an officer to the home of an unnamed elected official who lived in the area. Approximately 2:36, the officer encountered a man now believed to be Bolter in an SUV parked down the street from the state official's home. This is just really not adding up. Just watch out for psyops. Says believing the SUV belonged to a law enforcement officer with its lights and fake license plate, the officer pulled up beside the vehicle and tried to speak to the man. The man continued staring and did not respond. The officer drove to the lawmaker's home, saw there were no signs of distress, and waited for other law enforcement to arrive. Says the suspect fatally shoots Melissa Hortman, husband. Around 3:30 a.m., law enforcement in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, went to the home of Representative Melissa Hortman to conduct a safety check. Outside the home, officers saw the black SUV with flashing lights. Then they saw the suspect wearing a mask and tactical gear. Moments later, the suspect fired several gunshots and moved into the house, where a second round of gunshots could be heard. Inside, officers discovered Hortman's body with gunshot wounds and their dog gravely injured. Yeah, see? Watch out for psyops. Why the fuck? Never mind. Let's continue. Melissa and Mark Hortman were pronounced dead. Bolter fled the home, Salaki, and escaped into a wooded area. Investigators found a 9mm handgun and the mask outside the home. In the SUV, investigators recovered 5 firearms, several notebooks filled with handwritten notes of the manifesto thing. Yeah, this is how you know it's a psychological operation. The writings included the names of more than 45 Minnesota state federal public officials, including Hortman. Now, you just said he's going around attacking Democrats. So that is indirectly inferring to, okay, this guy must be a Trump supporter. The narrative that they've been painting for the longest, that, oh, Trump bad and everybody that goes for Trump is inherently bad, and you see the story. But let's continue. And I'm gonna stop and we'll get some scriptures. Yeah, okay. It says after shooting, suspect texts family, dad went to war last night. It says in federal complaint, the FBI says Bolter sent multiple texts to his wife and family a few hours after the shooting. In a group chat included his wife and children. He sent the following messages at 16 a.m. Dad went to war last night. I don't want to say more because I don't want to implicate anybody. How you implicate anyone? It was around the same time his wife received a separate message from Bolter. We are not going to explain how sorry. Blah, there you go. There is going to be some people coming to the house armed and trigger happy. I want you guys around. Now look at this guy. Look at him. Doesn't look like one that'll just spaz out. But this is how you know this. But let's continue now. You're talking about Bolto run on the e-bike. See, so you got to be careful of psychological operations, how this devil moves, because this devil it's been doing a lot of that lately. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. This is, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And it's just that simple. We are not ignorant of the devil's devices. Lest Satan should get an advantage over you. An advantage over you. We already know what an advantage is. Getting power over somebody, or an unfair advantage, as it says. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So we are not ignorant of this devil's devices. And don't be ignorant. And also make sure that you're paying attention and watching out. Watch out for psyops. Just that simple. Because a lot of stuff is this devil trying out psychological operations on people, on the masses. And if you buy it and you buy into it, you're going to get took hook, line, and sinker, just like those who ain't paying attention, who don't have eyes to see or ears to hear. So always be careful. And the only way that you keep Satan, this devil, from getting an advantage over you is staying in and on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Praying, staying in the spirit. Let's continue. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Oops, I went past it. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So we are not to sleep as others. We are to be paying attention, because a lot of people believe this crap that some random Republican white Edomite dude just went off and started going against Edomite Democrats. This is this devil sowing the discord, causing the problem reaction solution. So the Lord says in his word, therefore let us not sleep as do others. So we are not to be sleep as others. We are to be paying attention. It says, but let us watch and be sober. So we are to watch and be sober. Having all our marbles together, on top of our game, standing on our square. Verse 7. For they sleep. For they, Salakia, that sleep in the night. And they that be drunken are drunken in the night. So for those that sleep in the night. For a lot of people, they sleep, they not paying attention. See, when you sleep, you can't see what's going on. When you sleep, you don't really hear what's going on unless it's something that is just so disruptive that it disrupts that sleep. But for those that sleep, they sleep in the night. They don't know what's going on. They don't see what's going on. And for those that be drunken, they are drunken in the night. They are not aware. They're not paying attention. They're not on their square. They don't have their antennas up. They can't see or hear what's going on. So it's for those who sleep in the night, they not paying attention, meaning they're gonna believe this crap. And it is what it is. It just does not seem or sound like it was a real thing when you really investigate and look into it. But let's continue. Let's go to Sirach. So you heard that? I just imagine if somebody was asleep, they would not have heard it. And be like, hey man, you didn't hear that such and such yesterday? No, I don't know what you were talking about. There you go. But let's continue. This is Sirach chapter 11, verse 29. Just to, it says, bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. So bring not every man into your house. The Lord is saying, pay attention. Watch. Don't invite everybody into your house. Don't always be so open, I say. Don't bring not every man into your house. Don't bring anybody into your house. And we'll use it in the sense of bring not every man into your house. Don't always believe all the information that Esau put out as truth. Because he is a deceitful man, and the deceitful man has many trains. He has many ways of doing things. He has deceitful ways of doing things. Verse 30. It says, like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud, and like as a spy watches he for thy fall. So just like a partridge, which is a bird that is caught and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud. They seek to entrap you. They seek to overcome you with we'll say dishonesty. They seek to trap you with dishonesty. And it says, and like a spy watches he for thy fall. So this devil, like a spy, he's sitting back and he's watching, trying to see what works and what can take you down. And in this sense, we'll use it towards this informational sense. When this devil is making things up, bringing things out, what he's doing, he's sitting like a spy and he's watching. He's throwing things to see what to get people to do what he want them to do, and what he can cause people to believe so that they can fall into his trap. Let's continue. Verse 31. It says, for he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. So this devil lies in wait. He turns good into evil. Let's take a peaceful protest. This devil will take a peaceful protest and turn it into a complete full-on riot so that he can have an excuse to bring in the military, the National Guard, the SWAT, the police, you know what I'm saying, to cause death and harm to people. That's why it says he turneth good into evil, and things that are worthy to be praised, like Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, us being Israelites, doing the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. This devil, what does he do? He'll try to lay blame. We say the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Israelites. He'll lay blame to that. Oh no, that is anti-Semitic. Making up another word when it would be anti-Shemitic. But this is how this devil operates. So we always got to be careful of psychological operations by this devil, because he's always trying to trick your mind. That is where he goes to. He tries to pull the wool over your eyes. He tries to trick you with his tomfoolery. And he's always lying and waiting, trying to see what he can do. Verse 32. This is of a sparkle of fire, a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man layeth wait for blood. So just like a sparkle of fire can light coals up and cause them to burn, the same way is a sinful man. The same way this devil is a sinful man, and he layeth in wait for blood. He waits for opportunities to bring harm, hurt, harm, and danger to people. Verse 33. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee, Salakia, a perpetual blot. So you got to take heed of a mischievous man, a man that's always doing stuff, that's always on the cusp or the border of causing problems and trouble. So you got to take heed, meaning you got to pay attention. So this devil is a mischievous man, so you got to pay attention. Why? Because this devil worketh wickedness. And if you fall for it, and if you believe everything he putting out, he'll end up bringing a perpetual blot upon you, and have you out here looking bad and looking foolish, repeating everything that he's talking about. So you got to be careful. Watch out for Psy-Ops. Verse 34. Receive a stranger into thine house, and he will disturb thee. and turn thee out of thine own house. Receive a stranger. We're gonna use it for this information that this devil is putting out. Receive every bit of information from this devil, and guess what? He'll turn you out of your house. He'll have you talking and thinking crazy. Have you believing crap that ain't even really going on out here in the world. But also, this is talking about a physical stranger, a physical person. You receive a stranger into your house and he'll disturb you. Because why? Because you're not paying attention to what his intentions are. He'll disturb your house and turn you out of your own house. He'll cause problems in your house. Now, we can use that in a sense of information and the things that this devil does. You receive his information, believe his information, guess what? He'll disturb you. He'll cause you to be looking crazy. And he'll turn you out of your own house. He'll have you thinking things and believing things that are just not true. So watch out for psychological operations. Let's continue. Let's go to Sirach chapter 12. Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So you never ever trust your enemy. You can't trust these devils when they be talking about, oh, some random dude went on a shooting spree or a killing spree and did all these manner of different things. And then they show you pictures and all of this stuff. And then you look at the person and be like, nah, they grabbed him. Because it is a thing called crisis actors. And they do hire people. They put the advertisements on places like Craigslist and other like sites and stuff. So you got to be careful. But the Lord says, never trust your enemy, for like as iron rusted. So just like iron will rust if left out in the elements, water starts to get up under the surface of iron and it starts to oxidize and rust. So is this devil's wickedness, meaning this devil is guaranteed to be wicked, guaranteed to be evil, guaranteed to lie, guaranteed to put out a false narrative. He's guaranteed to do this because this is how they operate. This devil is a one-trick pony. That is it. This devil ain't learned nothing new since then. Nothing new. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Verse 11. Though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So though this devil want to come humble, crouching, making it seem like we're just out here, we're trying to do the best we can, we're trying to stop all these terrorist acts, all these various things, don't believe this devil. Don't believe him. The Lord says, take good heed, meaning pay attention, and beware, be careful. Be cautious of this devil. And in doing that, he says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. So paying attention to this devil, examine this devil closely, it'll be just like you clean up a looking glass or a telescope or a spyglass or whatever. And when you get ready to look through it, you'll find out that all that cleaning and all that and everything trying to get it situated, that it's still dirty. Meaning this devil's rust is still upon him. Their wickedness is still upon him. It has not been wiped away. It is still there. This devil will try to come like he all clean and pristine. Guess what? He's still full of wickedness and he's still full of deceit. And he still has intentions on destroying. Let's continue. Psalms 36. Verse 2. It says, for he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. So this devil, he flatters himself in his own eyes until his iniquity is found to be hateful, till his ungodliness is found to be hateful. You start to despise and get tired of this devil. But see, this devil flatters himself in his own eyes. He thinks he's just whatever it is he think he doing. He think, oh, I'm just doing this and this is going to do this. And my plan is awesome. It is foolproof. And this devil is steady committing iniquity and committing iniquity and committing iniquity till it be found what? Hateful. People started to hate this devil. This devil is incurring the wrath of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua upon him at that point. Verse 3, the words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He left off to be wise and to do good. So the words of this devil's mouth are iniquity and deceit, ungodly, immoral doings and lies. This devil is left off to be wise and to do good and to be good. Verse 4, he deceiveth, he deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. So this devil deviseth mischief. He's always coming up with some kind of tomfoolery to test or come against the masses, and especially Yasha Allah, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You don't think so? Look at the sugar honey iced tea that's going on with this devil plaguing the northern kingdom. That's devising mischief. This devil devised mischiefs upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. This devil is always going down a way that is not good, that does not benefit. And this devil does not abhor evil. This devil loves evil. You can read Psalms 50, Psalms 52. You can go to Micah 2:1. This devil is always on some tomfoolery all the time. Let's continue. Let's go to Psalms 26 real quick. Psalms 26, verse 10. In whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. So this devil's hands are full of mischief. His hands are full of mischief, and in his right hand bribes. When he want to come bring some kind of wickedness and some kind of mischief, what do? He come with a bribe. Hey, look here, I'll give you this and did this if you allow this. That's how this devil operate. I'm talking about the physical counterpart. The one that calls themselves WHITE. That devil. The deceiver. Let's continue. Psalms 52. It says, why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of Yahweh endureth continually. So this devil boasteth himself. And this is a question. And this devil right now, he is mighty, because the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. So this devil is mighty right now, but he's quickly losing that might. But nonetheless, it says, why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? This devil stays boasting himself in mischiefs about what he's going to do. And every time you sit down and you listen, it's a bunch of mischief and it's a bunch of destruction. And he tries to disguise it as, oh, well, it's going to help the people. No, it's going to help the people finish with all their living. It's going to help the earth become a more uninhabitable place. That's all it's going to do. But this devil boasts himself in these things, but he does not understand that the goodness of the Heavenly Father endureth forever. The righteousness of Yahweh Yahushua endureth forever. Verse 2. It says, thy tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. So this devil's tongue is always devising mischiefs and lies. His tongue works deceitfully, meaning he tells lies. This devil does not tell the truth. Or if he do, he'll tell a little bit of the truth, but then he'll pack 1,000 pounds of lies on top of that truth. That's what this devil does. Last point. Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and worketh evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So woe to those that devise evil. This devil stays devising evil. He stays working iniquity upon his bed. When the morning is light, meaning this devil goes to sleep dreaming about things. Goes to sleep with wickedness on his mind and wakes up in the morning and practices and puts that wickedness into practice because it is in the power of his hands at the moment. because the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. And what we see, the earth doesn't even bear its fruit anymore. Things don't even function like they used to function because of this devil and his wickedness. So yeah, watch out for psyops. And with that, shalom.